a left-hander, Jesus Luzardo, walks per 9.
Well, you see the defense, they've got more production out of defense. Arcia gets a start over Grissom.
7th in the National League in on-base percentage. And then we've got Jam.
Seen Fried use a lot of breaking balls, cutters, sliders.
And he goes to the breaking ball to strike out Nimmo.
Handed, I go with Max Fried, a big bender that goes.
Well, he looked at film of Sandy Koufax to learn his curve, but he has been raging hot, especially with men on base batted in, en route to 131 RBIs for the year. He lines up the first base runner of the night. A little toward the end of the bat, but
goes into those big, good hitting streaks.
So the Mets with 1 out and 1 on, and he takes the first pitch curveball for a strike. And that cross-body throw, get the out at second, and that's all.
With Jordan Groshans and his throw to second base, but that's
stolen base. You have to be wary with Fried on the mound because Marcana the batter, and he takes one on the. And count of 5. Mets have played 7 games at Truist Park this year. They've gone 1-2 to Canna. And the fastball hammered. Well, there's Francisco Alvarez. 1-2 to Canna. And the curveball stays fair. No, goes foul. Late call by the third.
Right on that line is in front of Ted Barrett.
Final Jeopardy theme just as Canna gets back in the Canna 1-2. And he gets the force side retired. A hit. The Hyundai starting lineup for the Braves, notable by his absence. Vaughn DeGrom, and his first pitch is fouled away. Nothing in the first inning against the A's, including back-to-back. He said it a couple of months ago after the series with the MCL. Acuna running hard, but he's out by a stride, 1 away.
The more and more you look at the Mets defense, you realize how much they miss defensive infield with Nito behind the plate. He's been on a tear.
To be Swanson. Showalter moves Sunday in the final game of the series. And Swanson.
Nito has called sliders 2 different times.
No hit bid in New York. His second start off the injured list has been the biggest issue for DeGrom this year. This year in that he's played every one. So since the start of 28-year-old impending free agent. And he swings through the fastball. I just don't know how those two things go together.
He's swinging the bat, Gary.
No contact. And he just got a piece. As the Buck said the other day, he said, you got to swing. 1-2 coming to Swanson. And he struck him out with the slider.
Put a big strikeout game.
Days after Michael Harris arrived in the big leagues in late May. He's hit with power. Native, grew up in Atlanta, and he snaked his way up through the batting order to the point where now
they acquired Rosario, Duvall, and Soler this year.
Brought him up from Double-A, and his OPS.
They get that with Alvarez in this 6-game.
Mr. Grom, first time he faced him, and he gets a. Next. And he struck him out on a pitch in the dirt. This leading up to kickoff on Jets pregame live Sunday at noon. Fried, 360 lifetime and 25 at bats, and Fried throw
346 on the road.
His resume 310 against lefties. That's McNeil. Braves don't shift as much as many teams do. Eduardo Escobar on deck, and then Francisco out. And McNeil takes it high too. The highest of any player against his own division. Neil leading off in the second in a scoreless game. And that's seen him some, but not a lot. 0.6 walks per 9 innings. And
with no one on base.
My first big league at bat. It's the biggest game the Mets have in a couple of batters. McNeil Rosario, but he lost it in the lights. And McNeil didn't look like he had any clue where this huge game Wednesday. And takes first pitch curveball for. That's we're down 4-0 on Wednesday.
Coming in is tons of spinners and soft stuff.
Time seems like it's been less early in this game.
Yeah, it feels like 25
on deck. And the fastball continues to rake. Got a fastball
Bar right now. He's been on everything.
Well, that started a little slow, then tore it up. Hurt his ankle in August, 95. And with the Mets not getting much, 20 years old. He hits the first pitch from his knees, gets the out at second on the relay for the.
That's what brought him to his knees. It skipped on him. Nice turn by Arcia.
So now 2 out. McNeil at third, and here's Luis.
Hit right on the nose by Alvarez.
Right there at the corner. And Guillorme. And that's Mario slides and drops the ball. Mets have the early lead.
As a good defensive outfielder, he made a nice play to come on it.
Into the first run of this game. Going to score that a hit, and here's Tomas Nido. And he takes a fastball properly. He had a condition that required surgery.
Well, like I said before.
Right. Well, the Mets get the last 9 at bats over his last 2 starts. Guillorme. And Nido with a good cutter. They have the fewest losses this year. The Braves. Nido. Nimmo would be next. And Nido fights one off. Neal's pop fly fell in for a hit. The next 3 hits. And Tomas wouldn't much more than you'd expect.
I think he has a game, and the fastballs he's thrown to Nido have been cut
with his command, which doesn't happen often. Walked foul. And Tomas fouls off the fastball.
A couple of down ones as well.
He's given up 4. And Nido on the run is Acuna to the line to make the catch. Home runs against DeGrom. Nimmo back to the wall. It's out of here. 8th home run of the year to tie the game at 1.
Side swing with the high hanging slider.
And now Matt Olson fouls back a first pitch. Darno, who's done lots of damage against his old team. Count 3-1. And Olson the lead. Back-to-back home runs by Riley. And the Braves lay down their marker.
DeGrom came out in that first inning.
And swings at a high fastball.
The outside corner with both his fastball.
And Darno. And Nimmo puts it away.
In right center.
Contreras. Who uses the same. Contreras, the DH, swings and misses at a fastball. No out. They love to swing in general. You get ahead of them.
Last 3 fastballs, 1-0.
On it and gets Contreras by a running stride. 2 out. I mean, he retired the first 17. Eddie Rosario. It's nice by the
one in on his hands. And walk.
Now the 3-1 to Rosario, and he swings and misses at a changeup, and it's
like everyone in this lineup.
3-2 coming. Struck him out. Came upstairs with Heat. Olson, and the Braves lead 2-1 after 2. And time around the batting order now for Max Fried. Brandon Nimmo out on a curveball his first time up, and gets first pitch curveball in for. From Fried to Nimmo, and Brandon. And plenty of time to throw out Nimmo. 1 out.
We'll say we saw him in front of the hotel today.
Smile. Here's Pete Alonso single. And Pete drive. And he's there to grab it. 2 out. Major League since the start of 2019. 2-2 to Lindor. And he struck him out with a curveball. As a team in first pitch swings. 30. And there has a base hit.
Inside. He tried to do it a couple times last inning.
Was able to control that way. That's dribbled down and takes the play at first. Arcia got a good break on that ball. And
higher, or maybe a little lower.
For such an enormous period of time, and now all of a sudden, same spot.
I was trying to find a word, Gary.
I'm up. And Harris hits one back up to play the hop. Doesn't have a play at first, but now he's got. And finally, it's Alonso to put the tag on Arcia for Arcia to round the bag, and they tag him out in a run. What a headsy play by Francisco was. That's Penn makes it smoothly and throws out count of 1 away. And then when he has to back up for that extra hop,
stop.
Mario handles it cleanly. No problem with the lights this time.
Huge numbers for the Twins.
Bats.
Santa Monica, California.
Swing and a miss. Got him with the. Have been the hits that DeGrom has allowed.
So it doesn't matter.
All right. So what's that all?
But what has happened is that if any part of that
Mixed in a curveball to Matt Olson. Wound up throwing that curve. Olson all of a sudden a hot hitter. They've got so much good vision competitive for years to come. Swing and a miss. Got him with a.
you were on deck and wanted to get it to you, Steve.
First ever high fist bump. And Darno just got a piece. Darno flat out. Every team has got to have one. Should show it again. And the 3-2 coming. And he flips to Fried, and Alvarez running hard. Riley and Olson had 6 games to go in the season. The Mets not only tied in front of it, and it's a pixel. Even if the Mets lose, 1-2 coming. Grounded gloves, fires, side retired. 3 ground. 3-2 to Contreras, and he struck him out.
And all season long, they still only get about.
Yank. Between third and home to end the third. One-two coming. And that retires the side, so DeGrom is retired.